You've done it?
You're live.
Okay, so I am going to, I think I know what I'm doing. Okay. Does not appear to be popular for me. Go to videos.
Should just...
I don't know.
Weird. Normally, show up on home.
Okay,
Strange.
there we go. But we do have a couple people tuned in already.
Hi, everybody. Post if you can hear me and see me. All. See me, hear me, feel me. You know the who. All right, so give it a few minutes for some people to tune in here.
Hello, Paul and Ivy. Yes, we can see and hear you from Vanessa. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa. Okay. So while we let people log in and tune in, as it were, just go run through some announcements, some upcoming classes, some upcoming shows, and 2 upcoming fairs, which is really cool. It's a big month this August. So first, let's run through, let's do the fairs since they are big and first. So we have this month in person, a live, actual, honest-to-goodness psychic fair happening on August 15th at Mediumship Winery in Appleton, New York. So anybody in Western New York, please come out. There's going to be food trucks, vendors, and Ivy League Academy readers there. We'll be doing psychic mediumship and tarot. So to pre-register for your spots, go to madramana.com and they'll have, either through email or phone, and you can get a reading with me or one of the other lovely readers from Ivy League Psychic Academy.
Wine tasting
yes,
also, and with the highest standards of safety with masks and social distancing.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. And a lot of it's outside, so it's going to be a gorgeous day. You can wander around the vineyard and have a great day. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, it's right up by Lake Ontario, so you'll enjoy it. And then at the end of the month, which is the 29th, August 29th, Saturday night, we have our monthly walk-in night virtual psychic fair. So this is great because you can get 2 readings and 2 readings all for $15, and you do it from the comfort of your home. So there's psychic mediumship, we have tarot, we have Reiki, pet readings, autographs, past life readings, life contract readings, you name it, we have it. And this is a great deal. 2 readings, $15. So check that out. That's on the 29th. So this fall, we have a bunch of courses coming out. As we've been advertising for a while, the fall semester of psychic mediumship starts on October 7th. We're running low on the Pathway 2 seats. So if you're interested in giving readings and getting a certificate to read, you should act fast. That's Pathway 2. And you can get your registration at ivyrivera.psychicmedium.com. We have Pathway 1, which you can take anytime by download. So if you're interested in that, you can go get that now. No need to wait. Then on September 24th, we have a 4-week numerology class. This is the first class, I think, in a very long time on numerology we've had at the Academy.
Yeah, it's been about a year we haven't offered it. So
yeah, so it's
thrilled to have it back. It's a 4-week
4 weeks. It's going to be awesome, very entertaining. Anybody who's even remotely interested in numbers should come join us. Check it out. It's going to be a great course. That's Thursday night starting September 24th for 4 weeks. And also another round of Intuitive Tarot is starting on October 20th. Those are Tuesdays. And I will be teaching that again, and that's an 8-week course, so join us there to learn about the cards and learn about how to read not only the standard definitions, but also how to read them intuitively. And that would be just taking, what you get from the card without having to rely on the definition and giving Spirit's message that way. it's a lot more healing and a lot more free, and it's more of a channel. It's a fantastic way to read.
Yeah, so people never get stuck using a tool.
Never get stuck
because
using a tool.
Ultimately, everyone wants to be able to channel spirit, but most people don't teach the intuitive method with tarot, so they get stuck relying on the cards. We want to see everyone evolve.
Everyone evolve, and you'll give great messages. It's a great class. The class that just graduated, phenomenal.
They were phenomenal.
I couldn't have asked for a better crop. So hope to see you on October 20th for the next class.
And we do have astrology starting up again for those of you that missed the last round in fall. I haven't announced that up on the website yet, but Christina Del Rey will be back with us teaching the basics in astrology. Pretty awesome. Yeah,
it's a heck of a fall lineup. You know, I feel like we're a big time ABC or NBC or something fall lineup.
It is. Oh, it's packed.
Yeah, so check us
No
out.
room for anything else.
IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com. Come register. Come look at classes. And we also have Ivy's Healing Call Center there, too, if you ever need a reading. 7 days a week.
No appointment necessary.
No appointment necessary.
Okay, so we do have some in here if you want to get started.
Yeah, let's get her going.
Okay, very good. So we are going to start with Vanessa.
Okay.
She wants to know if you have any messages from her father-in-law, Jack.
Jack. Like a slightly flashy sort of thing with Jack. It's like, you know, like you would like a fast car. See what he's got to say.
Yeah, I feel like I want to clock him for a minute and see what he's about to say. See what he's up to. There's something extra there.
Normally people like the this other deck for these, but he, you know, for channeling, but he picked out the flashy cards.
Oh,
like,
love it.
Give me those.
There you go.
Yep. All right, Jack. Let's see what we got. Okay. Jack says that you got to be you. That the main thing to do is look inward first, outward second, and decide on how to move forward that way. So he said that, you know, there's a lot of feelings wrapped up in your decisions right now, a lot of emotion, and to look inward, use it intuitively, and don't rely on outside factors, other people's emotions or opinions. That's not to say, you know, stomp people, but don't be stomped yourself. Is the really the issue here? Is that you're getting kind of pushed out of the way. You're pushing yourself aside, and he wants you to you know, put yourself first. So no matter who. Okay, he said. Kids, parents, loved ones, he said, put yourself first. Put yourself first. It's, you know, it can only go so far, right? To be spread so thin. And he wants you to be, he's showing it when I said spread thin. He's like bunching it up. And he wants it like that, bunched up. He wants you to be full. So the only way you can do that is to just keep yourself first and start doing that all the time. So, see what we got here with our cards. All right, this is a perfect card here. And I see why he picked this deck, because, so this is the Magician, and the Magician is one of the mages, and it's, you know, the second card. It's one of the most important ones, I think, in here for self-empowerment. And traditionally, the traditional deck has a male, and this deck is a female. And I think this is why he chose it, because this one is all about making what you want happen, okay? And it's knowing that you have the power to do it. It's all within you. You just have to do it, okay? You have to, it's all about the action, okay? So if we were to say that, you know, he has the infinity symbol here above his head, traditionally, she's got it right. There's a bun up here. And this is saying that you have all the power right here. It's infinite. And you can take that and make it here, make it physical. Okay, so anything you can think you can make, you can do. And to do that, and you have to start with yourself first. Start putting yourself first. Take all your power back, and then do it. And this is a great message and timing on that too. We have a law of attraction and manifestation class coming up on the 26th. It's highly recommended. You will learn the techniques here. But this is your card. This is a great card, and I'm really glad Jack picked this one. So
he's awesome. I love that a dad is using the feminine power card. He's so great.
It was the flash, and then he was just a sweet guy. So thank you, Jack.
All right, thank you, Jack. Thank you, Vanessa, for that question. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Vanessa.
All right, so we're going to move on to a Shilon. Any guidance from my spirit guides? No specific area, no specific guide.
Area, huh? Okay. It's funny, like joy guides, like my joy guide is a riot to me, and I feel that when I contact other people's joy guides, I don't know how it buffers through, but I get more of a joking communication, and when I asked, to speak to your joy guide, just to get an overview here, he's like, why isn't she asking me? Why isn't she asking me what's going on? Why is it, So that's, his message here is that, and I'm saying he, although it's a she, it's I would say sexless. The message is that you got to stop doing this. There is this 22, like, it's like you get this need, and it's kind of like flashing and flashing and flashing on the top of your head, and it's like, you've got to start doing this. You've got to start talking to us. You've got to stop relying on other people to talk to the spirit guides for you. He said that we're here, we're here, but you're afraid to talk to us. And they're packed with information, and he's just like waiting. Like, I see this bag, and with this fake Santa Claus sticker, he's like got so much to show you, so much to give you, and he's just waiting for you to come get it. His message is to just start learning how to communicate with them, and really open up your world. Kind of take the final jump. There's a lot of your spirituality has been growing and growing and growing, and it's hitting the point where it can't continue to grow at the same rate without you putting in more effort. And you've got to start bolstering it yourself before it kind of plateaus and fizzles out. So just keep pushing that up, and you have to actively do it. And he's suggesting you start now. Okay, we have this is the 8 of Wands. Okay, and it's in reverse. And with this cat, this is the cat card. He picked a fun one. It's really all about having too much of a boundary, really, and kind of, in a sense that I would say upright is keeping people out, but in the reverse, it's more of keeping yourself in. And I think the boundary is in the wrong side here. Like this cat who's supposedly playing with these leaves, like in the upright, he would be having a fun time, but in the reverse here, it's like they're just out of reach. It feels like, like he's being taunted by these, and everything is being held up by himself, like his feet are tied. So I feel that this is it. It's you seeing what's beyond and seeing what you want and how you want your spirituality to develop, but you're holding yourself back. And like your joy guide said, just start doing it. You're gonna grab it by the horns and do it.
Shilon said, how do I do that? I don't know what exactly she's referring to. I wasn't listening, but...
well, you could start. One of the first, we have a class, Meet Your Guides. That would be a great intro. That is a great class. I would say life-changing. Ivy's Meet Your Guides class. Yeah.
Class.
In that class, you'll learn who your guides are, and Ivy will bring you through exercises where you get to meet everyone, each and every one, and communicate with them. And it's so easy. you can leave that class and do it right after on your own. You know, you're like, how could I not have done this all these years?
Well, I felt like maybe she was referring to taking the bull by the horns too. I would say we put up that free mini class, Your Fear of Leveling Up. That's on my YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah, Ivy's YouTube, which I know you've been on, so check that out. I did recently make a playlist on Ivy's channel of all the mini classes. So if you click on one, you can go through and just scroll through and you know, binge watch them if you want. Pretend it's Netflix, everybody. Spiritual development Netflix.
She said thank you. She's gathering it. Okay, she must have meant one or the other.
Well, you got both.
There you go, Sean. Yeah. Yep. Awesome. And then you have a thank you from Vanessa. She said, thank you very much, Paul. I've actually been told to go in and start putting me first lately. So she has been doing that, and that's an awesome confirmation for her. I love it. Okay. I do want to move on to a Charisse D. She said, which job should I take? But she did not break down the two positions or the titles, so maybe you just want to ask her work guide and see what they mentioned that she should do.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Which job? Is that how it was posed?
Which job should she be doing here coming up?
Okay. I'm hearing people. So whichever one gets you closer to dealing with and helping people. You know, there is, you know, I think there's going to be two spots where one you're more directly dealing with people, and the other you'll be, I guess, through an office and pushing it that way. Like both involve people and you know, in one form or another, like helping people, but one is more direct, and that's the one. That's where they said this is where personality comes out. This is where you know, your kindness and caring will show, and it's more direct, and there's going to be more connections, and it's going to be more fulfilling, not only for them but for you. It's going to be more trying at times as well, dealing with people, but they're going to be nice, kind souls, you know, that really make it worth it and make you smile. This is looking soon too. I think that, I don't know if you're waiting for them to get back to you or you're waiting to choose and you have office, but I do hear like 2. So I think it's between 2 to 4 weeks. Should be narrowing this answer down, but if you're waiting on people, you'll hear then, or if you know, you put in your decision to go, I'd definitely do it in that time frame, 2 to 4 weeks. Don't wait any longer if it's on your end. For people, yeah, you got to get out there. You got to get that smile going for them. Okay, so we have the 4 of Swords here, and swords are all about action. But this one is a little different. The 4 is kind of waiting, okay? I like to read this in situations where it's waiting for the time to be right, because it's not all 4 swords here that are in this kind of like gilded state while he's like resting, you know. 3 are still active. So it's like, you know, it's like almost, it's waiting till they're all 4 are ready to go, okay? So if we were to say they're coming up on the wall one by one, this last one's ready to go. So it's patiently waiting for the 4th sword to come out, and then you can make your move. So don't be hasty and choose the one that maybe looks best on paper, but use your intuition. Like I said, talk to your guides and, you know, the same people. So choose what's best for you, okay? Don't necessarily go for money because I think it's going to be more of a pain in the A later on. So take the time, like this guy was saying, and figure it out. But it does look like it's happening pretty quickly. So I think your time is, I think you're pretty much there as it was. So
awesome. All right, we have another one coming in here from Amy. Okay, should I continue on to education, or should I stay in my current profession? She is in nursing. She just said nursing going into education.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess whatever you can really pick up on with that.
I'm getting right away is the combination of the two. I feel like nursing is really, really, really ingrained in you, and teaching on it would feels like the next step. You know, instead of switching modes and maybe teaching something different, it does feel that there would be. I don't know how much extra schooling there would have to be, or if there are different classes you can teach outside of that, say, to start. But I do see it being both. That would be a perfect fit. Something like, you could even start with doing CPR classes and a lot of, I would even say you could get involved with certain groups now that, a lot of things are being brought into the streets, and there's like medics, at protests and everything. I think training people with that would be huge, and it's a more direct and really quick way to give back. So it'd be really excellent.
Like taking it to the streets, taking it where it's needed instead of stationary.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Okay, let's see what we got here. The Magician. Okay, so if you saw the other card, this is what the traditional one looks like. So this is, again, knowing that you have the power to do whatever you want and make it happen. It's about manifesting it. And feel that you already know the direction in which you want to take this, okay? And there's a little bit of hesitancy, and it's to go for it. Just take your idea and make it happen. Make it real, okay? I like to think that the magician is making these flowers, with this wand. He's like kind of casting a spell. But this is the case. It's taking it, not hesitating, going for it. And I do feel that this is kind of like making a new thing, right? The way this appears. And it's, you can get on the ground floor of some really new, really helpful stuff. And, that through that too, if there was like a street level class that could then be involved in opening up other classes and going up, and then kind of vertical, if that's the right, vertical integration, all the way up. So this could be the ground floor. Your ideas could really be the start of something bigger. And this is, again, one of the majors, and a very major one at that. So Amy, everything's looking really good. So make it happen.
Beautiful. Very exciting. Okay. I think sometimes when we see someone so deep in healing too, it's from past lives. And, sometimes we end up in a clinical category because, that's what pays, but there's more to it than just that. Interesting. You have another one coming in here from Rick Gopal. Any messages from my grandma Jean? I've been feeling her around lately. Jean.
I feel like she's saying Ricky. Like she would call you Ricky. Ricky. She's like, Ricky, happy birthday, Ricky. That's why. She sent me right to this deck. Yeah, she is. She's here, and she's sticking close. It's one, she wanted to say happy birthday, definitely, but she wants to make sure that you are comfortable, in the sense that it's not like I won't say wavering, like comfortable in your skin, comfortable in your decisions, comfortable in what you choose to do, and like not deviating. Like you can see it like when things like round off, okay, and if it like goes and it kind of wears, like if this thing was going through two saw blades, and it kind of cuts off right there, and a little bit cuts off here, like this thing will get whittled and whittled and whittled the more it goes side to side, right? And so she's saying just make sure you're staying where you're comfortable, okay? And don't go too far this way, don't go too far that way, and don't do it rapidly either. You know, you can get all chewed up, and it's like very lumbar oriented, and that to me is saying, yeah, it's just, this is dealing with your prosperity too. Like the more you get twisted and turned and pulled and further away from yourself, the less you're going to get out of it, the less prosperous you're going to be. And she's here to, she's being around so that, you know, kind of like a hand on your shoulder, right? And like, steer the course, Ricky, you know. But she's very, it's like, I don't want to say stern, but like just watching, you know, quietly watching and loving, but I wouldn't cross her. That's kind of the thing I'm getting. Okay, and what'd she give you? Very great card. They're hitting tonight. This is the World card, which is, it's the last major, and it's the way I like to see it is the second cycle of the majors, and this one is wrapping it all up and sending the fool back to be the fool, or, you know, to be the hermit, as it were. And with this, it's saying that changes are coming, okay, big changes, but you have to be whole and intact for that to happen, okay? Like we were saying with hitting the sides of this saw, if they're eating away at you, don't let it happen, okay? And then this, you know, big change, you'll feel it. You'll know when you get there. It's like when you're worn out now, stay the course. Don't let your energy get drained by outside influences. Keep going, and you'll come through to the other side. And she's here to make sure you do that.
Yeah, she's great. I was hearing something similar. She keeps talking about, like, I feel like his freedom and becoming more self-empowered. You know, which is really the same thing. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of change coming. That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you to Rick and Grandma Jean. Okay. So we are going to, Amy said thank you also.
Very welcome.
She said thank you, Paul. That actually helps a lot.
Good.
Okay.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, you were talking about her work.
Yeah.
So we have another question coming in here from an Olive.
Okay.
Wants to know, why do I have so much congestion mentally when it comes to spirituality?
Question.
And I said, well, are you talking about mental congestion? So let's see. Olive says, sorry, it's like I can't hear my guides and it feels as if I'm waiting on something else. So this sounds like so many people who need to dive deeper. Just treading water.
Yeah, this is,
let's see what they say.
you know, very, very common problem, Olive. And the beauty is it's easily solvable.
Not knowing the language.
Yeah. So you get to a point where it's pretty much like the freebies dry up. And you have to take the step, the commitment to start speaking their language with them. And understanding what they're saying. You know, like, you can only get so many pennies left on your doorstep before you got to start figuring it out, you know? Like, you can't buy a car with, well, depends on the penny. So you can't buy a mansion with a penny, no matter how many of them they drop off. So you would have to start talking and getting the advice that way, you know, taking the time, putting in the effort, two-way street. It's two ways of communication. So that's part of it, is that you're sitting and waiting, okay, and waiting for communication instead of starting it up, okay? Like, you know, you turn your phone on and just hope that it rings. No, you got to call that person. And this is, it's the back and forth and the confusion, and it's letting in other things that don't need to be there, that aren't the communications that you should be having, you know, and your thoughts can get scattered because you're kind of half open, you know, we'll say, and then not fully open and learning the techniques to really manage it. So with that, I mean, I would highly recommend taking the Psychic Mediumship course. Again, starting October 7th. But we have, you know, other pathways available that you could download now if you wanted to, just to start. And if you need a little overview on Ivy's channel, which is Ask Ivy, she has a class called Why Mediumship. Okay, and you may want to just check that out first because it's right up. You can click over after this show and catch it. It's like 50 minutes. And she goes through the whole language of mediumship, why you should choose it, and how it heals your life and heals the world. And it's a really, really gorgeous class. And, you know, if that should set you straight. And you'll say, okay, this is really what I need to do.
I like how you said that, you know, you can't get little treats forever. It's like spirit moves you from dessert to the meat and vegetables.
Yeah.
You have to eventually start putting in work.
Yeah.
And if you don't learn the language, you're never going to understand what's going on, ever.
Yep.
It is a lot of congestion.
Yeah, and we got the Four of Swords again. They wanted it fun, so we chose the Alice deck and the Flamingos, actually. So this one is, you know, I'm reading this kind of the same way as the last four, where it's like, you're so close here, right? 3 of the swords are ready to rock, and then the 4th sword here is the one you're waiting on. And you know, it's this last step. Like, you got so far with it, but you need to take this last step. And it's, like, very active, okay? So the way I would read this is, you know, if he's sleeping, he's going to wake up and put this other flamingo on the shelf. You have to do it. It has to be an active thing. This flamingo is not going to get on the shelf on its own. You have to do it. Okay, so you're going to make this jump. You're going to make the move. You're going to open the communication up. And, you know, make it happen.
Excellent. Okay, and we have from Rick here saying that the saw blade reference that was coming from his grandmother is actually something that his dad does. His father does woodworking. His father is also named Rick, and she referred to both of them as Ricky.
First thing she said, Ricky.
Yep. Beautiful. All right. Well, it looks to me like we got to pretty much everybody on here.
Very good.
So, yeah, I think I got to everyone. And I think if you want to wrap it up, you are free to do so.
Yes, thank you everybody for tuning in. This was fantastic. I love it when you all come out, and they were great questions. Spirit really came out. I thought it was great the way the cards went. We had 2 magicians, and the 2 people asking about spiritual development both got the 4 of Swords.
That's funny.
Yeah. I think that's very awesome. So, thank you again, and my next show will be August 30th. And I can't wait to see you then. And until then, check out, we have Ivy's show coming up Monday, which that's tomorrow. Holy cow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 9. Ask Ivy on Ask Ivy at YouTube, and she'll have your horoscopes going up too. So it's the start of an awesome week, and I hope to see you guys back in a few weeks.
You're getting a ton of thank yous, Paul.
Everybody's so welcome. Okay, thank you so much, Ivy.
You're welcome.
You kicked some serious
Thanks,
A.
Paul. Thanks, Spirit.
Yes.
Be blessed, guys.